Hi, everyone. This is EstaRa with a message for you. It is Friday, November 4th, 2016. Wow, what a bumpy ride it has been since last week. How y'all doing? Are you feeling it? Oh, my goodness. There has been so much happening. So, as you all know, I've had trouble getting videos out to you. I've had trouble recording things. It has been ridiculously crazy. So, there has been amazing amounts of dark energies interfering, blocking, preventing me from speaking. So I'm going to try and hope that this is being recorded and you're receiving it. I did a test about 5 seconds ago. It worked. So let's see if this is working. Let's see where I want to pick up because there's so much that's going on and so much happening that I want to make sure I give you a quick bit of information. Let's see. So first I want to say last week, I tried to record a video 5 times for you. Finally got the little one about 6 minutes long from my cell phone that went out to you. And then I did another one on Halloween because I'm like, oh, yay, I could do this. This is great. A great message for you on Halloween. And I recorded like a 40-minute amazing channel. And guess what? Didn't record. I went to go listen to it to play it for you. And I thought, oh, boy, not good. And I was like, well, I could stay home and mope and be upset and redo it again and try to be as spectacular as I can be. I love when I channel messages because I don't think about them. As you all could tell, I just ramble. Things come out of me. Those are channels, and I can't duplicate that. So instead, I decided to go to a friend's house, brought some pumpkin soup I made, and we had a little Halloween evening, watched a psychological thriller that creeped me out a little bit, and gave candy out to little trick-or-treaters. Those little munchkins are adorable. Love them. Love kids. So that was fun. And I just said, okay, I'm going to take a break and not worry about it. So a couple days later, I tried to record for you again. Didn't work. As you can see, new microphone, new headset, hoping this will make it better. And on November 2nd, I actually channeled a brief message for my Soul Star Healing fan page. So I highly recommend, if you are not on that page and you haven't liked it yet, please, if you're on Facebook, go like my page, Soul Star Healing. It is really cool because I leave brief messages from now and again. I don't put them on consistently in terms of energy updates, but I probably get a couple out a week, and it gives you quick fix information. And I find that sometimes it's more important than what I'm saying to you. So let me just kind of read what I wrote so you can kind of see where I'm coming from and what was going on, because this is pertaining to why I was trying to leave you a message. So here we go. Spirit is saying, hold on to your hats. We are ready for a bumpy ride. Huh? What? I asked. Haven't we already been on a bumpy ride? They said, well, yes, you have. But we have not finished yet with the bumpy unfolding of truth. October was known as the month of reveal. November will be known as the month of clash of the old paradigm with the new paradigm. And so they gave me some more information saying, don't you already see the changes taking place in your world? One thing is for sure, if you are going about making changes in your life the old way, then you are certainly have not been paying attention. Let go, let go, let go. It isn't about surrendering for someone else to take over and fix it. Nope. Instead, it's about letting go of the old ways of coping, old ways of living, old ways of being, old ways of responding. Spirit is asking you to seek out the new ways of being. They have already been downloaded into you over the last 2 days. So this was on November 2nd. So they've been downloaded since Halloween. And actually, what's really interesting is that is part of the channel that I was trying to give to you on Halloween was this is what's coming, but I couldn't do it. And it was downloaded in one of the energy upgrades that I did post and put out there. Honestly, we are in such a huge change right now that's taking place. And they really want us to let go of old ways of being. And the energy is really supporting that shifting right now. So one of the things that they had said to me is if we keep doing the same thing, we're going to get the same response. If you haven't noticed already, things are manifesting rapidly. Things that you think about, put out, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, it's happening. It doesn't stay shut, closed. It doesn't take weeks, months, doesn't even take days. Sometimes it happens instantaneously. So one of the things that I really recommend is that you pay attention, become more aware of where you're at. You know, there's a lot being revealed. And on a human physical level, the exposure of emails, for example, on the Hillary Clinton server, the exposure is real. So all that information, and it's not to like bash Hillary, and it's not to, for me, in my mind, it's not about that. It's actually about showing us what has been hidden, the corruption, the control, the dark energies that have been in control and in power and pretty much doing whatever they wish with not only the government, but the planet. And so that brings me to one of the reasons I believe that I had trouble recording my videos, because every time I recorded a video, and you can hear me getting ready to clear my throat, something's coming in at me. Ask Archangel Michael to assist me now in clearing my throat chakra. Place a dome of protection over me as I speak. Thank you. Okay, so let's see if we could do this. So I recorded 5 videos last week. You got the little 6-minute one from my phone. But prior to that, I was channeling information, and I channeled again on Halloween the following things. I channeled that there is which I've known full well, obviously, but I've never really shared this in my videos. There is a galactic battle of dark and light right now, and it is at the all-time high. It's been going on for several years, eons, quite honestly, my guides are saying, but particularly recently, it's been heightened, obviously, because we're feeling the reverberations in our physical being. So what's been going on is actually playing out here on the earth, the dark and light battle, and the way it's playing out is our belief systems, our patterns. So there is an old paradigm that's getting ready to move and a new paradigm that's already starting to take off. Now, does that mean all the changes are here and they're done and we're yay? No. And there's still things going to happen. I mean, that's what the channel was about. The little message I had, it's about that. It's about all the changes that are happening, that will continue to happen and continue to come. Revolutions will continue to happen as well. And revolutions and revelations, those both words were popping in. What they are trying to explain is the dark has been really, really active. And it truly has, because whenever I talk about what I'm saying to you at this present moment, usually it gets blocked. Even on my cell phone, it gets crackly when I'm talking to somebody. And you can hear my voice. I keep getting energies coming at me, but Archangel Michael is really awesome right now. He's keeping things at bay. And the Arcturians are there too, showing me that as well. So with the dark being really active, they're playing on us. So one of the things that my guides wanted me to tell you last week and channeled was that the light is winning. We are winning. It's not like they're not winning. They are winning. But the dark had been ready and is ready to fight the battle till death. So until they are done completely, they're going to keep fighting and keep trying and doing all that they're doing, because that's kind of their mission. That's their job, right? So they're amplifying energies around you. They're making things friction based, and they're making things almost chaotic and crazy. And so I don't know what your week has been like, but the last week for me has been craziness for me. And, trying to get the videos out, recording again on Halloween and not letting that happen. And, the last 2 days I've been trying to record a video. It didn't happen. Had some issues with that. And I feel like it's really important that you're aware of that. So when I was talking about my channel from the other day, where my guides had said, let go of the old ways of coping. So your old belief systems, your old patterns, we have them. I know that a lot of us don't think we do, but we do. We have, and they're not all conscious. There's some subconscious things, For example, a lot of people have been getting very upset about the exposure, and I'm going to use America because that's, that's where I live, and I'm going to use that as an example. Plus, I think all eyes are on America right now because of a lot of the things that are happening, and all the exposure of the sexual harassment cases that are going on, all the abuse stuff that's been happening that people are finding out about. That's an important piece of revelation, but that's not only an important piece for humanity. It's an important piece specifically for the twin flames here incarnated in humanity. Our job is to reveal that stuff. Our job is to change belief systems and structures around what the feminine is and what the masculine is, what females are and what males are, and to show the new way of being. So for example, we all know, if you're a twin flame, that divine feminine could be a male or female. Divine masculine could be a male or female. And what that means is our expression comes out as more of a divine masculine or more of a divine feminine. And most people on the planet have no concept of that. That's why there's such a struggle in belief systems and patterns and old paradigm energies. People have been locked into believing what's acceptable and what's not. But the truth is, everything's acceptable in the eyes of spirit, because we are all one ultimately, and we're all expressing ourselves in human form. And what's going on with all that stuff coming up, I've been disappointed, to be honest with you, because the media is making it more about victimization, which is old way of thinking, old paradigm. And I believe that it's about us taking back power as the divine feminine, taking back power, the females stepping into the power of being who they are. And what's happened, yes, these people have been harmed. Terrible things have happened, and I'm not disputing that. I know for myself, there has been sexual abuse in my background, in my childhood. We are not meant to be victims anymore. Like, the new frequency and vibration is about taking responsibility for who we are and for our experiences here on this planet. And with regard to the divine feminine piece with the sexual harassment, that is kicking up everybody's belief system and patterns. So, for example, I was doing a session with someone last week, and I had this, I was helping the person to see their pattern because I was seeing it very easily in their field, but I didn't really know how to put it into words other than to explain through my experience I was having at that moment. And at that moment, I was getting, our ideas and our concepts of women on earth. It's been horrible, like the things that have happened and the abuse and the battering and the suppression and the repression that has happened to women. I actually saw, when I was talking to my client, things that happened to me growing up in terms of sexual harassment, that on the surface level, I didn't perceive it that way. I didn't actually recognize it being that, because, that's just how it was. That's just, like, everybody does that. It happens. That's no big deal. But when I step back now, it creeps me out a little. It makes me think, ooh, But the truth is that at the time, it was fine. It was acceptable. That's what has to change. Nothing is fine and acceptable. It's not okay to belittle a woman for being a woman. It's not okay to talk sexually to a woman. It's not okay to do that when you're in a position of power and expect, like, a woman to obey you. There's just so much stuff that I would love to talk about, but I could spend days and hours on this. I don't think that's what we're supposed to be doing. I don't think we're supposed to be sitting here crying about it either. And I'm not saying you shouldn't grieve and feel. You absolutely need to grieve and feel what's going on. However, you can't stay stuck in that. We have to take back our power. And by taking back our power is to understand what is and is not acceptable, and what we've accepted on a conscious level, but even more what we've subconsciously accepted. So isn't that interesting when I say that? Because when you think about subconsciously, there's so much that goes on that we don't recognize, that we don't see as a problem for us, because it's been so embedded in our DNA, embedded in our energetic patterns, embedded in our familial patterns. It's not like we question much. Like, I think of how my brothers and I were raised, my parents did the best they could with what they knew, right? But the thing is, my brothers and I are very different people. Like, they could be sexist and racist and biased. They can behave in that manner. They can act in that way. That's not who I am. I'm not like that. I don't believe in that, and I actually have to say, what's really interesting is I'm talking something that's being reminded to me by one of my guides is about how even in this new energy, there is a whole group of beings that believe that women are so much more powerful and that they are the ones, and we need to downplay men, and we need to be kind of abusive to the masculine energy and bad to that energy, and keep them out and kind of do what they've done to us, that is not, like, I run goddess circles. I run a goddess circle weekly. If anybody's local, please join me if you can. I do goddess circles, but the goddess circle I do is about empowerment and love and self-love and understanding who we are, why we're here, what our mission is. It's not about downplaying men. It's actually just the opposite. Because I'm a twin flame, maybe that's why. It's about bringing balance. It's about bringing the balance back to the planet. We have a divine feminine and we have a divine masculine energy. Those work together in unison. And I love when you see like a DNA strand, how it intertwines. That's what I see when I see a divine masculine and feminine energy coming together. That's what I believe it is. And that's what it's supposed to be in my mind, in my heart, in my vision. We're about balance. We're not supposed to be one is better than the other. We need each other. We need divine masculine energy. We need divine feminine energy. We cannot be separate. One cannot be stronger than the other, because the truth is, together they're more powerful. Separate, they're not. But together, so much more can be accomplished. And I think that's our mission as twin flames. Our mission as twin flames is so much greater than, oh my God, I love this man or I love this woman. It's so much greater than that. It's our mission is so much more. And I just got like really emotional. I feel so emotional right now. I'm sorry. Our mission is so much greater than I want to marry this man or I want to be with this woman. They're going to fix me. They're going to help me. It's not about that. Like individually, we need to be okay. We don't want old paradigm energy dictating our future with our twin, because it won't last. Our relationship with our twin won't last in the new paradigm. You can't carry forward your subconscious old beliefs and patterns into a new paradigm relationship. It just is not acceptable and it doesn't happen. And I think for a lot of us, the Cinderella story has played out a lot, in people's mind of like, we're going to be rescued by our prince. And believe me, I felt that when I was younger. I haven't had that in a long time. But there's moments where I'm like, oh, if he was here, I'd feel better. Well, you know what, though? The truth is, would I really feel better if he were here? Wouldn't it kind of wreak a little more havoc that I'm feeling crappy because of something that happened that I only could deal with and I could fix? Because the reality is he can't fix me. He can compliment me. He could be there for me and he could hold me. He could love me. But he can't fix some of the blocks and things I have, because those blocks and things would get in between us. They would act as a obstruction between our relationship. And hey, guess what that does? Ooh, draw some dark energies in. Let's amp that up a little. Let's bring some chaos between this couple. So that would happen and create a block between us. So I don't know. I feel like that is something that's really important, for us to pay attention to and look at, because when I think of my beloved, I really love him and I really want to be with him and I want to have a life with him. I want all the beautiful things that humans can have in a life. But I also think in the greater scheme of things that together, our love, just by knowing each other and being together, that love emanates out. It changes everything around us. Everybody we're related to or connected to. And, the way I'm seeing it is like I'm in the middle, we're in the middle, and there's like a star with energies, all over and connecting to all these different people we've interacted with throughout every part of our life and lifetimes. And I feel like that's what our mission is to change everything on this planet, but by doing it through a place of love and connection, not what we were taught to believe an old relationship was, like what marriage has been treated as or has been. It's about what the new paradigm relationship is. And so that's where my energy has been going, is to the new paradigm energy and relationship. And I realized I just went from one extreme to another. I have the direction I'm speaking. I don't know. There's so much going on in my head. I don't even know how to hone it in and speak to you in a clear, succinct way. So forgive me for that. But I want to, I'm going to actually stop here in a moment, because I'm going to do this video out for all of you. And then I'm going to do another video with a reading for the week. And I actually pulled the cards already, so I'm going to leave those aside. I have to go have some acupuncture for my back today. So when I come back from acupuncture, I will record the reading for the week. And I just want you to think about some of the things that that I just talked about. And I want to bring in one last thing. So the changes that my guides are mentioning and sharing with you, the exposure that's happening, the revelations that are happening, they're about us too. Dark parts of us have to be shown as well. But when you think about in terms of the government in America, particularly, and I'm not saying other governments in other countries are not corrupt. Believe me, I believe they are too. But I'm using America because we're front and center at the moment and I live here. And the way people are being treated in North Dakota, and I don't know if you're familiar with that, but I will put a link in there to my blog in in this video so that you can click on it and learn a little bit more about what's happening in North Dakota. I talk a lot about it in the blog. It's also on my Facebook. So if you want to friend me on Facebook, you're welcome to do that. Just let me know who you are and why you're friending me, because if I just get somebody to add as a friend, I don't usually accept it unless I ask who they are. And I know who they are. But I'm open to that. And you could look at my page. I have a lot of information about it. I've been drawn to this for months now, and particularly really drawn in the last few weeks to really put information out there about what's happening. It is a greater issue than what people are understanding it to be. I feel like absolutely it's about the Native Americans losing their land and their burial grounds and their ceremony sites and their drinking water. Like the big thing is the water. Well, first of all, there's many reasons that it's wrong what's happening there. But the first thing that I want to say, everyone on this planet drinks water. Everyone on this planet needs water. Their words are water is life. Water is life. If we don't have water, we die without water. There are many parts of this world that don't have water. Many parts of this world that are drying up and not having water. And right now, there is an abundance of water in America and perhaps other parts of the world too, but I'm not thinking about that. Again, back into America. But our water is being destroyed by what they're doing chemically with the fracking and what they're doing with the oil spills from the fracking. And I'm not going to go into the scientific details of all of that. But the reason I'm bringing that up is if anybody thinks they're immune to this just because it's in one little area right now that's being dealt with. If you know anything about science and you know anything about the earth, Mother Earth is connected to every single thing. Water is living and breathing, and it moves through the earth. And so anything that's contaminated in one part of the world or the country will contaminate another part of the country because it moves. It doesn't stay. It doesn't just stay stagnant. It's not like you can put up a little fence and hold it there, because that really doesn't work, because everything's living and breathing. It's energy, it's spirit. And so the first piece is we're all in need of water. We need to help. The second piece is the treatment, the behavior, the inhumane treatment, the violence that is occurring against these protesters that call themselves water protectors. And it's funny, when I write about them, I want to say protesters, and my hands ultimately type protectors. The violence, the abuses, it's inhumane. It's a human rights violation globally, but it's also a Bill of Rights violation in America. So in our Constitution, the First Amendment, and my background is political science, and my favorite part of law was constitutional law and the Bill of Rights, first 10 amendments. But the First Amendment is about freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom to oppose the government, freedom to gather together peacefully in assembly. And these people are peaceful. They are doing it. Their weapons are love and the presence of numbers of people and their voices. That is their weapon. They have no other weapon. That's actually the new paradigm weapon, if you know what I mean. So these beautiful native people are so in tune with the earth and the vibrational frequency changes that they already recognize that within them, that is the weapon. It's love. And gosh, I have to use love as a weapon. It's crazy to say that. But if you think about how powerful love is, it's so much more powerful than anything else on this planet. And it is important to us because if there's violence and suppression of humans' rights, violations of laws, then what are we doing? Keeping laws if no one's going to obey them and abide by them. Like the people that are breaking the laws are not the protesters. The people breaking the laws are the police and the government. They're not upholding the treaties. They're not upholding court injunctions. And they're using police against their own people. Like that is beyond me. They're using militarized police against peaceful protesters. That is an entitlement just by being an American here. So all of that being said, that's part of our mission too. So we can't shut our eyes and close out what our beliefs might be or stay in the drama of our personal world. Because as I was saying just a moment ago, it's our mission, our union is bigger than just our beloved. So if you're not in union yet, then work on your mission. It's important to still focus on what your mission is. And if you are in union, you work on your mission together. We need to rise above our natures of just, if there's something in it for me, then I'll participate and do it. Rise above, if it's directly impacting me, then I'll do something. This might not be directly impacting you this present moment in time, but it will in the future, because if it can be allowed here, it'll be allowed everywhere. And our job, again, as twin flames, is to change the human consciousness on this planet to a place of love. And we do it by love, right? We do it by being in love, by making love to our twin, by bringing that energy here. That's what we change. That's how we change the frequency. That's how we change the vibration of the planet. Well, I don't know about you. I know etherically I'm with my twin all the time, 24/7. I'm with him. In a physical manner, we are not together physically, living together, experiencing life together every moment, every day. We're not in that physical union yet. It's coming. I believe it. But we're not there yet. But I'm not going to sit here waiting for union. We need to take action and do what our mission is. And I don't know what each person's mission is. I don't know what your journey is about specifically. I know for me, when I think about my beloved and I and what our mission is, we both have background in politics. We both have backgrounds in law. He actually is a lawyer. I was going to be a lawyer, but I decided not to do that. My background was looking into constitutional law, particularly, and history was always a very important piece for me. His background as history is important to him as well. I believe that our mission has something to do with this government that we live under in the United States. So I believe that there's an aspect of our mission to work in that way and in that manner. So in case you're like, why is she talking about this? Why is she rambling about this? This is part of my mission with my twin. And it's my mission right this moment as well, because we are doing this. And in some way, shape or form, he's obviously doing it too. I don't know exactly how he's presenting it to the world around him, but I feel like he's doing it as well. I don't know what your mission is. You find it. It might just be getting out there and sharing your light or support. Like I feel called to speak up and share my views and opinions about what's happening. So that is in alignment with my mission of being active in American political system. And I'm not doing it the old way that I used to work when my background was working in politics, but that is not how I'm doing it now. I'm doing it in a different way. And we are so in this together. We're not alone. We have so much more to do. And our work is just beginning as twin flames. I know it sounds like it had been beginning. Like I've been on this journey for 11 years. You would think, oh, my work as a twin began. No, it's just beginning. The work of twin flames is just beginning. Notice I say of twin flames. That means that our work to come into union began 11 years ago, but the work that we are here to do together is just beginning. So I leave you with those words. I hope it wasn't too much of a rambly message and crazy. To be honest with you, I have no idea what I said. My guides are like, it's okay. It's all in divine and perfect order. And I'm listening to them. But I am off to my acupuncture appointment, and I promise to be back. And I'm going to try to upload this before I leave. I'm not sure it's going to have enough time to do it. I send you lots of love and light and blessings, and I promise to come back with another video. Namaste.